and welcome to another video to probably legend search. So today we will mostly look at a low elo game. This one includes around 1k elo. There's one 1.3 in the game, but still. So what we look is of course try to help people improve, look at mistakes and what they could have done better, but also at looking at some interesting build that is indeed made in the lower Edo to better understand what's happening and how we can help them also. So the goal here is not to flame, of course there will be some laugh, but it is only natural for things that we don't see normally. We can be surprised and stuff like that. So we'll probably miss wave 1 since I didn't play any games beforehand. So the extra loading time is in place, and so you will see some visual artifacts at the beginning of the game, but will resolve as soon as wave 2 begins. Uh, also, I'll make sure to announce now that the Shadow Cup has opened its registration phase. So this means if you're interested to either join as a team or as a caster, look at the thread on the Steam forums of Legion TD2 to have all the information. I can put the link in the description possibly for you guys. I think it's a good idea that I do that. So let's see here. We do have interesting starts indeed. We do have a 3 buckler start from small Sam Latipus, and a 2 buckler start from Nonce. So the 2 buckler are not holding wave 1 just because they're not sharing the aggro as those are. We did also have a 2 worker start from 2 wanderers for Eagle, and staying at 2 workers here, not pushing the third one, and an antler start from BTD8. Alright, so this should be an interesting one, considering the builds. And wait, what? Nonce is pushing to 6 workers? Going for the brute on wave 2? So is it a suicide, but like with a buckler start? That is a strange one. But now the brute on the antler on wave 2, I never saw that. I don't know how it deals with it. Possibly only a brute league would be interesting to see, and the 2 wanderers will be enough to hold with a 250 value. And of course the 2 bucklers are not enough to hold on wave 2, but we do have a hold from Sam Latpus. And indeed it will be only the brute league here on BTD8. Does he push the worker? He does not push a worker here. And so stays at 3 workers even after the 60 cent, and Eagle is pushing 1 worker from 2 to 3 workers. We still have the worker advantage on Sam Latipus and Nonce, and they did receive sense here, I believe. Yeah, a snail on Sam, but Nonce did not receive anything yet, I believe. But first king damage due to the brute reaching the king. But let's see what happens here on wave 3, because wave 3 seems to be problematic for both players here. We do still see a save from Eagle here. We do have the gargoyle, so it's not a suicide, but he's pushing to 7. Seven workers? Is it a semi-suicide? I mean, minus 185, you must not... Okay, so be sure to look at your value before pushing workers, because this kind of stuff can happen to you. There's a 60 recent. I don't know how it deals, because now there's a steed. The DT did tank a lot here, and we do have the massive send here, well, the massive leak here, due to the 40 cent after income from Eagle. But we will have a hold here from San Latipus, but probably not in the middle. So probably a first king damage, and here the 60 resent does catch BTT8 off guard, and Eagle pushing one more workers to 4 workers. And now it's just a semi-suicide, I suppose. He's going for income every wave also, so possibly just trying to make the leagues to extend the waves and make use of his work advantage because he does have it. He does have the income lead as well, but he's losing so much gold due to the leaks that he's generating. And he's pushing another worker. He's pushing to 8 workers. Will he push to 9? This has to be a semi-cross. He's pushing another one. He's pushing another one. Oh yeah, this is definitely a semi-suicide. Pushing as much worker as possible, and with the extra gold, you just build what you can? What is going on? We do have a overvalue here from Sam Latipus, staying at 4 workers, but he is even on workers on the 2 others here. There's not Eagle pushing workers here, and there's not BTT8 pushing workers either. They are both overvalue. But let's see here. The 40 recent will be managed quite easily here for Sam Latipus, but the 40 recent here onto nonce is, well, every sand will result into a leak here. Just with the builds, he's probably like clearing one Sentinel, maybe one other creep, and we do have continuous leak on BTT8, but Eagle is still managing to hold in the middle from now on. So he will be able to be in a strong position, Sam Latipus that is. He does have a decent front line. Wave 7 is problematic though. He does not have a tank. Well, he does have a tank, so he probably needs to get that Millennium as soon as possible. And we still have Eagle and BTT8 staying at 4 workers. And Noms is just sticking to the strategy of pushing workers, and the worker advantage is now massive. And BTT8 will not be able to stay ahead of this curve because there's no push. And yes, there's 12 workers. This is a cross from some Latibus and Non's response. And so it looks like we're casting a cross game. And we do have 2 pilgrims here. Perfect to cover as much as possible. And we do have the 5th worker pushed here from Eagle and BTD8. But that might be a mistake here. The sands are coming every wave on both sides. We will see the leak here. Do we have 1 kill here? I don't think there was any kills here. No, there was not. And here is a solid hold for Sam Latipus. Let's see on the other side. There's another leak here on BTD8. I mean, it's a hold? Is it a hold here? Wait, how much scorpions? There's 1 scorpion left. It is a hold, but it is still king damage, yet again, on that wave. And this is a complete hold in the middle, for sure, for Sam Latipus. So the big problem is that Eagle is not pushing while receiving a lot of income from Sam Latipus. And so he's not able to stay ahead of the game and things like that. The problem when you're playing against this strategy, okay, so, well, okay, that's a good plan here. We're gonna try and explain how to beat that strategy here, because you need to realize that blue is out, right? So the problem is blue is sending big every wave onto teal, and yellow is receiving small every wave from red. So this means that Eagle wants to either push a lot of workers to not break that, but go to the middle with additional mercenaries and break Sam Latipus in the middle very hard. And for that to work, you need to send it the same wave as BTT8. And what you don't want to do is send every wave because you don't have the worker lead. So the one who has the worker lead is is non-response, the suicided, and BTT8 needs to stay lower workers to try and hold, or try and push workers himself to try and break red, uh, or weaken red a little bit better after a save. So against this composition, you kind of want um, to end the game before wave 10. If the game goes past wave 10, then Nonce Response will be the one with the most income and the most workers, and so it will be able to recover, because at the end of the game, what you see is the income being way more valuable than the gold you get from the wave. And that is because uh, if you look here, here you receive 120 gold for the whole wave, but right now, Not's response is receiving 144 gold every wave. So he is receiving more gold every round than the wave gives him. So this means that yes, he leaks everything, but he gains all the gold he leaks from income. So that's the way you can see it also. And you see here 20 workers from Non's response. We do have here no Millennium here, so this is a weak wave, but the cents are small, so it would be interesting to see how they do. Double Dino, very good against the Harpies. This will be a leak again. The DT here is not enough to leak him, I suppose. I mean, he's on value, but that's not enough, I believe. I mean, Teal is on value as well, but does not have the best composition on wave 7, so he does leak, but that is a small leak. And we do have a hold in the middle here from Sam Latipus, but I don't think he covers anything of that. Yeah, okay, so we have a clear from yellow. BTTA did not leak terribly considering the size of the sand. So they are not doing too bad, but as we said, if the game goes past wave 10, you are already in trouble. So we do have a very strong clear here in the middle. I mean, the Daphnes are doing way better than I expected here. And so we will see a clear on wave 7 from Sam Latipus and Nonce yet again. Do we have this 50 gold push here from Nonce, or he starts to build here? Does he start to build? No, he's going full push. Alright. So keeping true to the strategy here, pushing a bit late. But let's see. There's a lot of gold to be spent here on... Wait, what? How does... Did he shift gold? What? Oh no. I didn't see that, but they're they're shifting 400 gold against the suicide. So it is literally the gold shifters against the suicide cross game. Oh my god, what is happening here? That is insane. What is the game I got here? I'm quite happy I caught that game to be honest. But BBT8 shifting 300 gold and leaking massively here on this wave. And yellow just barely holding. There's way too much to the king here, so they will die by shifting 300 gold on that wave. So the Suicide Cross wins here because of the worker push and not shifting gold. They could have... Okay, so that's oof, that was a weird that was a weird game, sorry. That was a lot of unexpected things. But yeah, so normally you want to go for a long save onto the one who's suiciding to try and get king damage, because you need to finish the game before wave 10. And the biggest issue here is that Eagle ability 8 weren't ever full building. They were shifting a lot of gold every time. Like on wave 8, the wave they lost, they had 300 gold to spend from their pocket. So this means that if they decide to not push too much workers here, that's totally fine. But Eagle needed to push a bit more from this goal. But BT8 needed to full build here with his goal. And if they don't shift, they are in a way stronger position to long save. So that's the thing here. You need to admit that, okay, Nun's response is not holding red. So this means that you need to leak red. Either leak red or weaken red a lot so that the middle doesn't hold, right? So you need to spot the weak wave of Sam and not care about nuns. So what you do is you send big with your ally onto a weak wave of Sam. So you only have one lane to focus on. And it needs to be before wave 10. So you probably want to, looking at the starters, you probably want to first start at going, yeah, wave 3 could have been a good one if you long save. If you don't, if you do your king up, someone is totally fine. But then don't go on wave 2 with the Snell here. Go on wave 3 with a brute probably or stuff like that. It was pretty hard for Eagle and BTT8 because they started 2 workers and 3 workers. So low worker starts mean that it is very, very hard to punish this kind of strategy with a long save. But you're in a great position because now you know that Eagle will need to push more, so he needs to play accordingly. He doesn't have the best build to do so, but as we said, if he did decide to full build, he would have done way better. Same for BTT8. And so yeah, so it just shows the importance of full building when you're receiving from the person who's pushing out of the workers. So full build when you're playing against that. Also, if you're receiving from the person who has the fewest worker, make sure that you are able to push out of the workers with your build and go for a long save to kill before wave 10 because normally after wave 10 you will see the player who is pushing out of the workers with just snowball out of control in the game. So this game was interesting because of the starts, the hidden cross plays, and the interesting start also from Eagle, the 2 worker, 2 wanderer start. So on that, I hope you guys liked it. That was a very strange game to watch, but I hope it was fun and that we learned some stuff also. So on that, make sure to spend all your gold. I guess I told that like 3 games in a row. I really need to investigate what is causing this low elo tendency of just shifting this amount of gold here. But yeah, probably will have an answer soon. Uh, and if you have any ideas why, make sure to tell in the comments. And so yeah, so have a nice one, guys.